3 years after Shan, the hero, locked the evil demons away, they somehow came back. Tuka has a crush on Yuna, his childhood friend, and defends his home from demons by setting up traps with spikes. A demon attacks Yuna, but Cheyenne, the hero, kills it by accident when he falls into one of Tuka's traps and dies. This leaves the world without a hero. To avoid getting into trouble, the villagers secretly bury Shan. The next morning, Tuka wakes up in Shan's body. A necromancer named Anri Haysworth explains that she put Tuka's soul into Cheyenne's lifeless body. She's keeping Tuka's original body hostage to make sure he helps save the world. On their journey, Tuka is challenged by one of Cheyenne's friends, who accuses him of pretending to be the real Cheyenne because he can't use Cheyenne's special sword. Anri talks to Cheyenne's old teammate, Kyle, who saves Tuka from the angry crowd. Yuna suggests that Tuka can prove himself by completing a quest to kill demons. Anri tells Tuka that he doesn't have the spiritual power to use the sword or stop Cheyenne's body from decaying. Kyle challenges Tuka for the right to take over Cheyenne's body and become the new hero. Kyle says he was just kidding. Tuka gets scared and tries to steal his body back from Anri's necklace while she's asleep. But instead, he sees Kyle trying to kill him by stabbing the necklace. Tuka realizes that Kyle wants to harm him, so during their quest to fight demons, he tries to avoid Kyle. While they're fighting demons, they get separated from Anri. That's when Kyle confesses that he was jealous of Shen becoming the hero. He even tried to secretly assassinate Shen a few times, hoping that Anri would swap his soul. Yuna stops Kyle from hurting Tuka, and Anri overhears everything Kyle said. Kyle tells him that necromancers are part demon, and if he takes Anri's crystal heart, he can swap himself into Cheyenne's body. Anri admits that necromancers are humans born on the other side of Hell's Gate, and it causes them to have mutations like her crystal heart. Tuka decides that he can trust Anri and promises to do his best as the hero. Anri, in turn, says that if Tuka saves the world, she'll marry him. Tuka tricks Kyle into falling into one of his traps, and he ends up in the deep ocean. The reward they get from their quest isn't enough to cover the debts they racked up buying equipment and food, so Tuka decides they should head to the royal capital to make more money. Meanwhile, some mysterious people decide to target Princess Marguerite. Kyle still insists that he was joking. Tuka tries to take back his body from Anri's necklace but doesn't succeed. Over time, Tuka's body continues to rot until only his skeleton is left. While visiting Larkvault, the king of Farum, Tuka wears a mask that looks like Cheyenne's face. He discovers that Larkvault really wanted Cheyenne to marry Princess Marguerite. Tuka is forced to agree to a date with Marguerite to attend a masquerade festival in 2 days. Marguerite has a condition called MES, which drains her magical power and can be fatal unless she eats a lot of food. A doctor named Leland figures out that Anri is a necromancer. He offers a potion to restore Tuka if they help the city by hunting devils. On this hunt, they meet a knight named Ciruela. Yuna and Anri are kidnapped by a person known as Skeleton Man, who's also a necromancer. Tuka finds out that Marguerite gains weight after eating before MES makes her lose the weight, so he tries to put stockings on her plumper thighs. This upsets her tutor, Isaac. Marguerite goes to see her doctor, and while she's away, Tuka searches for Yuna and Anri. He ends up meeting Leland, who turns out to be Marguerite's doctor and also Skeleton Man. Leland reveals his sinister plan. He wants to kill everyone, strip their flesh, and then bring them back as immortal skeletons. He plans to give the flesh to the devils in exchange for peace and wants to frame Anri. At the masquerade festival, Tuka gets excited when he sees Marguerite wearing stockings. This makes Isaac very angry because he correctly suspects that Tuka is not the real Cheyenne. Marguerite realizes that Tuka is not really Cheyenne, mainly because his personality is so different. Isaac and Ciruela overhear her, and she runs away. Lillian finds Marguerite and tricks her into going to a place where he's turned many people into skeletons. Tuka tries to save her to prove he's a good person. But during the struggle, Lillian knocks off Tuka's skull, and he escapes with Marguerite. Tuka convinces Isaac and Ciruela to trust him, and they go into Lillian's dungeon. Inside, they rescue Yuna and Anri. Lillian starts a ceremony to take away Marguerite's flesh and marry her. Tuka interrupts the ceremony while Ciruela battles Lillian's demon allies. Lillian uses a potion to increase his power and summons more skeletons to grab Marguerite, hurting Isaac. They escape to the woods, and Anri is amazed by Tuka's clever tactics. Tuka tells them about his childhood, how he learned stealth and strategy to survive demon attacks after his parents died. Marguerite develops a crush on him after his confession. Tuka desperately needs magical power to fight Leland, and Isaac reveals a side effect of MES. It saturates Marguerite's body fluids with magical energy, so Tuka can recover by drinking them. As Marguerite can't cry and she refuses to let Tuka lick her sweat, she embarrassingly decides she must urinate into Tuka's mouth to help him. Tuka figures out something crucial just in time. He realizes that Leland isn't a necromancer but uses a crystal to control the dead. Tuka exposes the crystal, and Marguerite smashes it. They capture Leland, but a demon shows up with the defeated Ciruela. During the battle, Tuka's skull is broken and he dies. Marguerite, who's fallen in love with Tuka, cries a lot, and her tears miraculously bring him back to life. He uses the hero's sword to defeat the demon. Somewhere else, a necromancer controlling the demon finds Tuka interesting. Leland is imprisoned and loses his mind. Marguerite realizes that crying to release her pent-up emotions has cured her MES. The king rewards Tuka with a magic-powered carriage, and Marguerite secretly joins the hero's party. Tuka realizes that preventing his body from rotting uses a lot of magic, and he only has a few weeks before he becomes a powerless skeleton again. Anne-Ray and Marguerite argue about who will marry Tuka in the future. Yuna starts questioning her feelings for Tuka, and because she's upset about Marguerite, she decides to leave. Yuna gets bitten by undead and starts turning into a zombie. She tries to insult Tuka to make him leave her, but he refuses to abandon her. They are both saved by a spearman named Belarco, who knows that Tuka isn't the real hero. Belarco suggests they go to Mayor Dot's mansion for safety. Yuna turns into a zombie, but Anne-Ray controls her with her magic. Anne-Ray explains that the zombies were once regular people cursed by a spell that makes them angry and lose control of themselves. This curse spreads through bites. To find out who cast this curse, Anne-Ray suggests temporarily entering Yuna's body to control her. Tuka volunteers for this, but it becomes clear that he's just trying to touch Yuna's body inappropriately. Anne-Ray and Marguerite stop his lecherous attempts and even tie him up overnight. A demon breaks into the mansion, allowing more zombies to get inside. They manage to save Mayor Dot and lead the survivors to a secret panic room. Among the survivors are warriors Colin and Negan, whom Tuka eventually remembers as allies of Leland during the skeleton incident. Marguerite offers them a reduced sentence in exchange for their help, which they reluctantly agree to. Demons and a high-ranking devil destroy the panic room. This leaves Marguerite with fewer clothes, and Belarco is thrown uselessly into the river. Tuka surprises everyone by killing a demon with his sword. This is shocking because Tuka's soul is currently in Yuna's body, so using the sword without the hero Shan's body should be impossible, unless Tuka has a truly heroic soul. Marguerite is really happy because she thinks that Tuka has become the new hero and she wants to marry him. But then something bad happens. Colin gets bitten by a zombie and is stabbed by a necromancer named Diego. Diego controlled a demon during the Leyland incident. He killed Cheyenne and now hopes that Tuka and Anne-Ray will join the necromancers in wiping out humans. He's angry because humans massacred the necromancers after Shen sealed Hell's Gate. Tuka refuses to join Diego, so Diego tells his zombies to attack them. Tuka tries to trick Diego by claiming that he used a power greater than the heroes, the power of Lush Eyes, which he pretends is a special power. Diego hesitates, and then Mayor Dot, who is bribed by the promise of seeing Marguerite naked in stockings, crushes Diego with Tuka's magic carriage. Dot has brought another legendary hero, Millie Eunice, who is Yuna's sister. Their father, Fieri, prefers breasts over thighs, and Millie has two party members named Shannon and Dorothy. Diego runs away but reveals that the zombies will turn into demons in 24 hours. Tuka gathers the zombies and promises Colin that he will kill Diego's demon to save them. Tuka has to pretend to be Yuna when Millie's family arrives. Millie claims that she's engaged to Tuka, which makes Marguerite really mad. Fieri doesn't like Tuka and wants Yuna to go back home, saying she's too weak to help in a fight, which upsets Tuka. Diego ambushes them with an army of necromancers and demons, and things are looking pretty bad. Demons controlled by a necromancer kill everyone except Tuka. When the necromancer tries to take his sword, Tuka reveals that it was a trick. Anne-Ray had taken control of the demons, and everyone pretended to be dead. It turns out Anne-Ray is pretty clever. Tuka realizes that the necromancer is Ethel, the woman who taught him survival skills after his parents died. His reaction tips off Millie, who figures out that Tuka is controlling Yuna's body. That's when Tuka reveals the shocking truth. He accidentally killed Cyan. Ethel explains that she was there when Hell's Gate reopened, and what she saw made her support the necromancers. She advises Tuca and Henri to go and see for themselves. Tuca convinces Ethel to join them on this journey. Diego is amazed to see that even the mysterious Lush Eyes defeated Ethel. Dot and Belarco go on a boat to inform Marguerite's father about what's happening. Fieri and Ethel turn out to be old enemies. Ethel takes them to have the carriage repaired by Leto, a blind craftsman who happens to be Shin's grandfather. While the carriage is getting fixed, Tuca learns that Millie isn't technically a hero because her sacred sword is man-made. Only Tuca's true sacred sword can seal Hell's Gate, which is a big deal. Ethel reveals that the necromancers now control the Demon King's 4 generals. Millie is confident that Tuca will somehow save Yuna from turning into a demon. Things are getting even more complicated, but they're determined to do what they can to stop the chaos. Tuca wakes up in a past memory where his parents were alive, but it's not real. Everyone seems empty and unresponsive. Yuna explains that they're in an illusion based on their childhood memories, created because their souls are inside Yuna's body. They go through many memories, starting from their first meeting and going forward in time. Yuna regrets the fight they had on the day Tuca left their hometown, and she didn't get to say goodbye. They reach the memory of the day Tuca's mother was killed, and Tuca can finally say goodbye. In the next memory, they see that Tuca was there when Hell's Gate reopened. Yuna is shocked to learn how much pain Tuca kept hidden from her, and that his love for her helped him survive. A devil interrupts this journey, revealing that he entered Tuca's mind to make him relive his worst memories for fun. To free them, Tuca finds a memory of himself as a true hero, but the devil can predict his moves because he can read Tuca's mind. Tuca realizes the devil can only be in one mind at a time, so Yuna controls Tuca's movements, and they defeat the devil. When they wake up in the real world, Tuca can now see and talk to Yuna's soul. Tuca's soul is back in Shan's body because Yuna's soul woke up. They try to hide Yuna's body in the carriage, but fire catches them. Meanwhile, Belarco and Dot reach the city. Diego and the necromancers defeat the order of magical warriors sent by Marguerite's father. Dot convinces him to send an army of knights, and Isaac and Ciruela bring along Kyle, who survived Tuca's drowning attempt. Fieri forgives Tuca, but asks him to admit that breasts are better than thighs. Leto, who is blind but can see souls, is happy to see Shen's soul hiding in the hero's sword. Kyle is free again, but still plans to steal Shen's body from Tuca. They reach Albania to confront Diego, and that's when Ethel stabs Tuca with a soul-destroying weapon, seemingly killing him forever. But it turns out to be a trick to safely put Shen's body inside, as Henri had actually put Tuca's soul back in his own body. Tuca, disguised as a demon, tries to get close to Adele, the zombie-creating demon. He puts her to sleep with a spell, but they're interrupted by necromancer Friedrich, who is Henri's older brother and was believed to be dead. Now Yuna and the zombies have only an hour before they become demons, and things are getting really tense. Friedrich is angry because Henri chose to side with humans. He doesn't want to kill all humans, just the royals and nobles who massacred necromancers 3 years ago. Henri decides to save lives by siding with Tuca. Diego shows up and uses his power to merge with Demon General Vertex by absorbing Adele. Tuca realizes he must somehow kill Diego to save Yuna. Millie and Marguerite kill many demons using traps that Tuca left behind 3 years ago. During the duel, Diego merges with Vertex, but Ethel betrays him and pins him down long enough for Tuca to repossess Cheyenne's corpse and stab Diego. However, one of Vertex's powers absorbs magic attacks, and Diego is unharmed. Friedrich confronts Ethel. Yuna remembers that Cheyenne defeated Vertex near their village, and she realizes that Vertex can only block attacks he can see coming. So if they attack him randomly from different directions, some attacks will hit him. Marguerite faces another necromancer. Tuca and Diego wound each other repeatedly, but Tuca runs out of magical power first and takes a mana potion, even though he's already experiencing overdose symptoms, and he passes out. Belarco and Kyle arrive nearby. Yuna's body has only 15 minutes left before it turns into a demon, and time is running out. Kyle arrives seeking revenge on Tuca. Then Tuca wakes up inside the hero's sword and meets Cheyenne. Cheyenne shows him the doorway to an afterlife filled with his innermost desires, but Tuca chooses to return to save Yuna. Tuca goes back to Cheyenne's body, and Cheyenne's soul temporarily inhabits Tuca's body to fight alongside him. They defeat Diego just in time, and demons take revenge on him for killing Adele. Yuna's soul is back in her body, fully cured. After the battle, Ethel and Friedrich disappear. Tuca is swarmed by women as the new hero, but Yuna drags him into a bedroom out of jealousy. They have a playful moment, but Yuna flees when Tuka suggests that Shine might be watching them from inside the sword. Marguerite figures out that Yuna has fallen in love with Tuka and becomes her friend and rival for his affection. Shen advises Tuka to wait before going to Hell's Gate and suggests increasing his mana levels permanently. Shen orders Kyle and Dorothy to guide Tuka to a mana manipulation expert, the Sage. Things are taking a new direction as they prepare for the next part of their journey.